Part 416. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4151. She doesn't know anything. She thought Yangda was her daddy who had always loved her. Who would have thought that times have changed? It has all changed. At this moment, if you look at it, you will be numb in an instant. Rhythm or something is even more chaotic. I wanted to express something, but I couldn't. Snort. I have given you to the master. From now on, you will obey the master's words. If you dare to disobey the master, you will die. You do it yourself. The cold snort followed with a full-scale attack. While talking at the moment, his face gradually became extremely indifferent. After Yangda finished speaking, leaving Yang Linger behind, he walked away with indifference. Yang Linger stood in the same place, as if struck by lightning at this moment. She looked very dazed. She didn't understand why her father treated her so. Daddy never got angry with her before, he always dotes on her so much. Now what's going on? What happened? Yang Linger gritted her teeth, and her eyes turned to Fang Fan. She felt that it must be because of Fang Fan. Did you force my father to give me to you? And then my dad did this to me. My father wants to make me give up, so that I can serve you willingly. How did you force my father? You bastard! I kill you! Yang Linger roared, and immediately launched a full-scale attack on Fang Fan. For some reason, a dagger suddenly appeared in her hand, and she was about to stab Fang Fan's waist directly. That scene was quite scary. It seems that my brain is numb for no reason. While the thoughts are messy, the consciousness is also completely collapsed. Court death. Caitlin directly snatched the dagger from Yang Linger's hand, and then pointed the dagger at her neck. My lord, this woman has murderous intentions for you, let me help you get rid of her. Caitlin licked her lips, her eyes were full of murderous intent, and she wanted to kill him. Need not. Let her go. Fang Fan pulled Yang Linger over. He is still very compassionate. The matter of your father's attitude towards you has nothing to do with me. The reason why your father dedicated you to me is because he really doesn't want to see you. And you actually assassinated me. Do you know what will happen to you now? Fang Fan smiled coldly, then lifted Yang Linger's chin, and a cold look gradually appeared in his eyes. What do you want to do to me? You can't mess around. Daddy loves me the most. If you do anything to me, Dad will kill you to avenge me. Yang Linger said stubbornly, now she raised her head with a proud face. Fang Fan couldn't help laughing out loud. Whether this woman really doesn't understand or fake doesn't understand. Speaking of which, this woman is quite sad. You think too much. Your father still wants to call me master. I can control his life and death at any time. What do you think he will do to me? If you are more well-behaved, you can suffer less. If you don't, you may suffer a serious crime. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, and a hint of hostility gradually flickered in his eyes. While speaking at this moment, the sense of oppression appeared extremely strong. At this moment, it is completely the purest consciousness and mind. A wave of direct suppression. That's pretty much it. The stabbing is boundless. Tremors. Whoosh. Yang Linger rolled her eyes, a dagger appeared in her hand for unknown reasons, and then continued to assassinate Fang Fan. Madman. Boom. Fang Fan knocked down the dagger in her hand again. At this moment, there was no pity on his face. He immediately put it on his lap, and then made her face down and buttocks up. Snapped. Clap clap. Fang Fan started to attack her buttocks without hesitation. Ah! Ah! After eating the pain, Yang Linger couldn't help but started to scream. Fang Fan was really angry at this moment, so he didn't hold back at all at this moment. At the moment, the strength in his hand is getting stronger and stronger. Snapped. Clap clap. The sound of slapping came one after another. Yang Linger's yelling became more intense. But no one came to help her. Yang De, who was not far away, heard it, and inexplicably felt a sense of joy in his heart. Husband. Snapped. Yang Da's wife wanted to say something, but Yang De slapped her back with a big mouth. Shut up. Labor and management feel annoyed when they hear your voice now. Do you want labor and capital to save that bastard? Haha. That's my master punishing her. Don't say I can't save it, even if it can be saved, labor and capital will definitely not save it. Snort. She deserves to be punished like this. The daughter who has loved me for so many years is not the seed of labor and capital, /. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm a joke. A joke. Labor and capital are a big injustice. A big injustice. Hesteri's roar followed, and his face became more and more grim. With an excited heart and trembling hands, only by experiencing it personally can we know the hardships involved. After thinking about it, he completely became numb to the extreme. At the moment, it seems extremely far-fetched inexplicably. Just like the one in front of you, it's extraordinarily sculpted and extraordinarily numb. Nothing. Nothing. When Fang Fan's hands felt a little tired, he gave up on continuing to punish Yang Linger. But at this moment, Yang Linger didn't seem to scream much anymore, as if she had been tamed directly. Fang Fan glanced at Yang Linger, then nodded silently, looking quite satisfied. As it should be. As it is now, it's really good. According to the established rhythm, it is completely stable as before. Be safe now, let alone talk to someone. It is currently in full swing. What should come will always follow. Pour the wine. Fang Fan glanced at Yang Linger and said indifferently. Good. Yang Linger quickly followed suit. If you are disobedient, you will really be beaten. Now she has lost her temper completely. At the moment, the whole person has been completely numb. When Fang Fan's hand touched her body, Yang Linger couldn't help trembling. This is the sequelae of being shot. Eating meat and drinking heavily, what a happy day. At the same time, in the hall of Snow Eagle Fort, Dongping, the owner of Zai village, and Gaoan, the owner of Baichuan village, returned from Filong village and are reporting the current situation. My lord, this Filong village is too arrogant. My subordinates suggest sending troops to wipe out this Filong village. These bastards don't pay attention to us at all. My lord, this group of people must be completely wiped out. My lord, you have already given them generous conditions, but they don't know how to flatter you. Gaoan, the head of the Baichuan village, couldn't help shouting. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4152. What happened? Are you having a conflict with Filong village? What did I tell you before? Take my words as deaf ears, don't you? Lei Hai, the owner of Snow Eagle Fort, snorted coldly and looked extremely dissatisfied. When the next look swept over, Gaoan, the owner of the Baichuan village, was instantly stunned. What did he say? He thought about it carefully, and he didn't seem to have said anything that he shouldn't have said. But why, how did the castle master treat him so coldly? This expression and this posture look completely wrong. The sense of panic in my heart gathered in place, and I couldn't stabilize my consciousness or something. The more you think about it, the more you feel. The rhythm is messed up. Lord Castle Master, don't worry, we haven't fallen out with Filong village. But Lu Dalong, the owner of Filong village, is actually very excited about our Snow Eagle Castle's win over. It's just that Fang Fan, the deputy head of Filong village, doesn't have a cold. Not only did he reject our invitation to win over, he even said, Dongping, the owner of Zai village, made a long sound on purpose. What did he say? You say it directly, but it doesn't matter. Lei Hai, the owner of Snow Eagle Castle, frowned. He needed to know more. In this way, he can find some opportunities from it. Being so ignorant as before, he couldn't detect anything, which made his heart itch. For a while, there was an inexplicable sense of impatience in my heart. This matter must be clarified. You can't just do things like this all the time, can you? What has become of this? When I think of this, I feel extremely restless. My thoughts are in a mess, and my consciousness is a little unsteady. Fang Fan, the deputy head of Filongjai, said that Filongjai will become independent soon, and a brand new force will be established soon. He said that if our Snow Eagle Fort is willing to form an alliance with Filongjai, he welcomes it very much. If it's anything else, don't let us talk about it. Probably so. Dongping, the owner of Zai village, murmured, and then said hastily. Relatively speaking, he is more rational. When talking about these things, you can basically speak slowly and clearly. It's not like Gowan, the leader of the Baichuan village, who is easily irritable. Alliance. Did he really say that? Lei Hai's eyes lit up. He was not angry at the moment, but rather interested. My lord, we dare not lie. Because the matter of forming an alliance is of great importance, we didn't dare to make our own claims, so we came back to report. Dongping, the owner of Zai village, said one after another. You did very well. Fang Fan. This person is a bit interesting. Ambition, so big. It's somewhat similar to the me I used to be. Interesting. The whispering sound followed, and the picture in front of him couldn't help but be torn apart. As thoughts fluttered, all rhythms were developing smoothly without restriction. Afterwards, many things became delicate and pretty, and everything was unspoken. My lord, what shall we do with this Filongjai next? Aggression or, let it go? The owner of Zai village, Dongping, murmured, and couldn't help asking softly from the side. The tension on his face was beyond words. All kinds of chaotic colors could not help flashing in the eyes at the moment. Alliance. Ally with him. Lei Hai, the owner of Snow Eagle Fort, waved his hand loudly and forcefully. Ah! Dongping, the owner of Zai village, was stunned. Good guy, are you sure you're right? Do you know what the hell you're talking about right now? Do you dare to say this casually? This is going to be a big deal. If you are not careful, the rhythm will be completely disordered. I can't grasp what's next. You say this, is it true? Inexplicably, I feel that the picture in front of me is being distorted without limit. Fluttering back and forth, it doesn't make any sense. In the end, it all went cold. My lord. Why should we be led by the nose by a deputy village chief? What is the identity of our Snow Eagle Fort, and we need to form an alliance with a Filong dead? Why? They have nothing. Even the subordinates are too lazy to form an alliance with them. Gowan, the head of the Baichuan village, held back for a long time, and then couldn't hold back anymore. What he said this time was from his heart. At this moment, he felt very confused in his heart. What's the matter? Do you want to be so confused? You're fluttering around, you don't understand why. It's too stretchy, isn't it? A wave of bells and whistles. What do you know? If this Filong village is really like what you said, if it is just an ordinary village, can he kill Ling Xiao, a 2-star pseudo-god realm? Can he repel the attack of your 3 villages? If Fang Fan in Filongjai is just an ordinary deputy village master, why is he so confident in rejecting the temptation of my two castle masters, and even so arrogant that he wants to form an alliance with this castle master? If he is not a lunatic and a fool, he must have a very strong background. Now that we are at war with that old guy Lu Hong, we must ensure the stability of the rear. For an unstable factor like Fi Longjai, forming an alliance may not be a good choice. However, we can't let them develop too much. At most let them develop into the size of a fort. If it expands further, it will be easy to lose control. I can't wait for me to take down the Changling Mansion city and secure the position of Mansion Lord, but then I have to deal with them in reverse. Changling Mansion must belong to me, Lei Hai. Lei Hai, will definitely not live under others for long. Changling Mansion is just my springboard after all. While talking, Lei Hai, the owner of Snow Eagle Castle, couldn't help but flash a different kind of brilliance in his eyes. With all his consciousness gathered this time, he couldn't grasp his state of mind for a while. The more I think about it, the more excited I become, and the more I think about it, the more surging I get. For a moment, the corners of his mouth couldn't help murmuring, and his thoughts exploded in his mind. That kind of taste and feeling can only be understood after experiencing it. My lord, according to the reports from the spies, Fi Longjai attacked King Zizai massively. Jia Hao, the owner of King Zizai, was killed. Yang De, the deputy head of King Zizai, has surrendered, and they are currently holding a celebration banquet in King Zizai. A black shadow floated over without a sound, and after finishing speaking, it left without a sound. All the movements seem so light, as if they have no bones from beginning to end, which inexplicably makes people feel messy. At the moment when the consciousness is restless, the rhythm is being restrained without limit. In terms of feeling, sweeping across the board. The taste is hearty and dripping. That's pretty much it. Fi Long Village. Destroyed the Millennium Village. Is this starting to move? The speed is extremely fast. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4153. The owner of Snow Eagle Castle, Lei Hai rolled his eyes, and then murmured with a smile on his face. Dongping and Gaoan on the side looked at each other and were confused for a moment. I know this Millennium Village. It's a big village. Jia Hao, the owner of Millennium Village, is also a 2-star pseudo-god level powerhouse, and he can be regarded as a tyrant in the surrounding area. The deputy head of Qingzi Village is also a 1-star pseudo-god existence. How could such a lineup, how could it be defeated? There must be something wrong with this. I just don't know where the problem is. Whispering voices followed, and the scene in front of him was being trampled little by little. Thoughts drifted in place, consciousness was crushed directly. What should come will always follow. This feeling is especially appropriate. Gaoan, the head of the Baichuan village, is not pretending to be aggressive at this moment, but is exploring. The master of this castle has already told you that Fi Long village is not an ordinary village. Since it was yours before, let's go again now. On behalf of the lord of this castle, form an alliance with Fi Longjai. Perhaps at a critical time, my little ally can bring me some unexpected surprises. Lei Hai, the owner of Snow Eagle Castle, licked his lips, thinking to himself, his thoughts were flying all over the place. Follow the Lord's orders. Gaoan and Dongping each nodded, and they dared not say anything now. The matter of alliance has been decided. Correct. In order to put some pressure on our little ally, and to let our little ally take on some of the responsibilities of an ally, when you head to Fi Longjai, please inform us that Snow Eagle Fort is going to form an alliance with Fi Longjai. By the way, I can add another sentence, that is, the owner of this castle wishes to form a relationship with Fang Fan, the deputy owner of Fi Longjai, to become brothers of the opposite sex. That's it? The corners of Snow Eagle Fortress Lei Hai's mouth slightly raised, and while he was talking, the corners of his mouth couldn't help showing a wicked expression. Interesting, really interesting. This is so interesting. Wouldn't it be more interesting to follow the established rules? Ah! Is this really good? Gaoan, the head of the Baichuan village, asked subconsciously. The castle master's order, what do you have to question? Go. Dongping, the owner of Zai village, pulled his pig teammate a bit, and then left the hall directly. The heart of the superior is unpredictable. Don't you know this? Madness. Stupid. Stupid. As soon as he thought of this, his brains bounced. Messy, really meaningless. After deliberate publicity, the entire Changling mansion knew a shocking secret. Lei Hai, the master of Snow Eagle Castle, is forming an alliance with Fang Fan, the deputy master of Fi Long village. And the two will form brothers of the opposite sex. Everyone knows that Lei Hai, the owner of Snow Eagle Castle, is the most popular candidate for the owner of the palace recently. The biggest rebel in Changling Mansion. This kind of status was followed by praise, and immediately led a wave of rhythm, which made people feel extremely trembling from the bottom of their hearts. The rhythm and so on are even more distinct and abnormal. This Lei Hai is very hot. But this Fang Fan, what kind of thing is it? Official status, deputy head of Fi Long village? Forget it as the village master, but still a deputy village master? That's it? For a master like Lei Hai, the master of Snow Eagle Castle, even ordinary castle masters are not qualified to show off in front of him, basically they can only be suppressed in an all-round way. Even Lu Hong, the head of the Changling mansion, doesn't pay attention to him. With such a supreme existence, I really don't understand why he should have such a hot fight with a deputy village chief. For a time, rumors spread everywhere. It is said that Fang Fan is the illegitimate son of Lord Lei Hai. Sand sculpture, if it is really an illegitimate child, can they still become brothers? Isn't this a difference in seniority? Then maybe they were brothers in the first place, but for some reason, their brothers got lost before, and now they are reunited. I think that's the way it should be. It looks like it makes sense. It should be like this. It is said that the deputy head of Fi Longjai kills people like hemp, he is a devil. Fi Longjai is not a good place. Fi Longjai just killed Qingzizai. It is said that the entire Qingzizai was slaughtered, and no chicken or dog was left behind. Grass. Is it really so tyrannical? Hee. Otherwise. All kinds of anxious voices came from the surroundings, and what they said was justified. Rhythm or something, stable as ever. The more I talk, the more excited I get. This kind of gossip has always attracted the attention of many people. Everyone finds it very interesting, and talking about it can satisfy their sense of freedom from the bottom of their hearts. In terms of feeling, it just followed the fluttering. Feel happy for a while. Beautiful. More or less, that's it. Excitingly don't want to. At the same time. Long Hebeo. Fi Longjai is reversed. What's going on? Is the investigation clear? What happened? When did Fi Longjai hook up with Snow Eagle Fort again? This is an interrogation letter from the palace master to the castle master. Humph. Take a look, all of you. Take a good look. My lord needs an explanation. Explain to the owner of this castle, what is the reason? Ah. Why are you dumb? Speak. Speak. Su Dakai, the lord of Chengai Fort, had a gloomy face, holding the interrogation letter from the mansion lord, and roared. What a shame. This Fi Long village is his subordinate village. Something went wrong in Fi Long village, and he, the castle owner, must bear the blame. Could it be that the master of the palace thinks that this Long Sea castle is about to rebel? The owner of Chingai Fort, Sudakai, was trembling with anger. Lord Castle Master, is this a smoke bomb released by the enemy? It doesn't make sense. Not long ago, Fi Longjai sent over the head of Ling Xiao, the owner of Jifengjai in Snow Eagle Fort, and you have also rewarded Fi Longjai, Mr. Fortress. It stands to reason that there should be an endless relationship between the current Snow Eagle Fort and Fi Long Village. If they meet, even if they don't fight directly, they won't be as confused as they are now. At this time, a practitioner of Chengaibeo couldn't help asking questions. Madness. Are you still here to interpret it casually? Why do I feel like you are a spy sent by Chengaibeo? So you want to clear things up for Chengaibeo? You must not be a good thing. This matter has been very clear from beginning to end. If you feel unclear, then you must have a problem. There is a major problem. I've already seen that Fang Fan is not a good guy. Before I clamored to go back to Fi Longjai just to suppress him. It's all right now, he has completely controlled Fi Longjai, you guys are happy. The matter has developed to this point, and you have a great responsibility. Even, it's your fault. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4154. Ma Yuliang, the former owner of Fi Longjai who had been silent for many days, felt that he could do it again, so he couldn't help roaring wildly at this moment. While talking, his complexion couldn't help but become extremely resentful. Hateful. All this hateful thing. Thinking of this, I couldn't help flickering with extreme sullenness. All kinds of rhythms are also in the curb of madness. Ever since it was revealed that he fled Fi Longjai and used half of the members of Fi Longjai as cannon fodder, his position as the village head was taken away. When he came to Chingai Fort, no one treated him well, they all thought he was a bastard, they all thought he was a piece of rubbish. He doesn't want to live like this anymore. But now Fi Longjai rebelled. Fang Fan, the deputy head of Fi Longjai whom he had been resisting all this time, has now become a brother of the opposite sex with Lei Hai, the head of Snow Eagle Fortress. The world is real. This wave completely followed suit. The messy rhythm is being crazily suppressed. Although I don't really understand why a big man like Lei Hai, the owner of Snow Eagle Castle, wants to have a relationship with a dick like Fang Fan, but everyone spreads it like this, and that's enough, isn't it true? This matter has been exposed. That is the truth. This wave, there is absolutely nothing to say. One wave down, directly suppressed to the extreme. At this point, the thoughts are disordered. The more you think about it, the better it is. Castle Master, you should be able to identify traitors by now, right? I have always been loyal to you and my Lord Palace Master. He. Before, you insisted on listening to that Qin Yang's words, and took away my position as village master. Actually, I have long since discovered that something is wrong with Fang Fan. I've long felt that he has a different heart. But Lord Castle Master, you don't care at all. Why? In this case, what can we do? Isn't it clear that you are trying to die? My lord, if you want me to say, let's talk about this matter directly. Why do you say so much? My lord, if you repent now, it may be too late. My lord, you should hurry up and restore my position as the village lord. Then give me a few hundred soldiers and horses, and I will fight back to Fi Longjai and recapture Fi Longjai. This way, at any rate, you can save some face, the castle master. My lord, don't go your own way this time. Look, I've already made a mistake and missed it once. The lesson this time is enough. Ma Yi is beautiful. As he spoke, the arrogance on his face was beyond words. The whole person is in a state of fluttering. A cool batch right now? Happy. So what if you are the owner of the castle? Pretentious. You will be suppressed in minutes. Damn it. Pretending to be aggressive in front of labor? You're so humming unqualified. Ma Yuliang held his head high and felt even better at the moment. My lord, take it easy. That's the castle master. You make the castle master unable to step down, and the castle master will not let you go. On the side, his confidant son Jean quickly reminded him. The meaning is very simple, it probably means that you should not be too pretty. Too beautiful is prone to big problems. Especially for someone like you who is always sculpting in sand, who can stand up to this shit. In a matter of minutes, the brain will explode. This rhythm or something, shouldn't it be more steady? You get messy at every turn, don't you get numb? I am telling the truth. How? It's all like this now. Don't tell the truth. I want to see, who dares to control me. Ma Yuliang looked arrogant. How can you just throw away the highlight moments that you have won so hard? He didn't listen to his confidant son Jean's words, he thought he could still take off. Especially at this time, he had to give the castle master a little color. This way the castle lord will not underestimate him. Otherwise, what should the castle master do if he looks down on him? He can't afford to lose this man. Thinking of this, my brain is buzzing. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. Damn. Ma Yuliang. Are you finished? You can go down now. Don't disturb the order. Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, stretched his face extremely long. Who wants to be pointed at the nose and abused? It seemed a little uncomfortable in my heart. It's just that I have to follow through on the bright side, so in many cases I won't say anything more. But don't take it for granted. It's too much, nothing will work. Regardless of your messy identity, you will be suppressed directly. Pretentious. Let you continue to pretend. My lord. How did I disturb the order? I'm talking about business. My lord. Just say it. Is it a mistake to remove my position as the village lord? Did it cause a catastrophe? My lord, if you could have listened to me back then, how could it have evolved into such a situation? Hee hee. In the final analysis, isn't it all your responsibility, Lord Castle? There is nothing to say about this. It's very real. I think it should be. The proud words were in place, and the eyes sparkled with brilliance, which became extremely exciting for a while. That kind of feeling, that kind of taste, if you have experienced it carefully, you will understand. The stabbing is boundless. Cool batch. After Ma Yuliang caught a mistake made by Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Castle, he began to zoom in infinitely, and immediately began to fully control the field. What I said at the moment is called an excitement. The eyeballs almost popped out. At this time, it was really exciting. With the corners of his mouth murmuring, the whole person was about to gather in place. A lot of cool. That's how it should be. Who will fight? Who dares to pretend? Suppress directly. The lord of the castle said, you can retreat. Su Dakai, the master of Qinghai Fortress, reminded him again. At this moment, his face was extremely dark. Master, calm down. Village master, forget it. Village master, come back quickly, the castle master is angry. His confidant son Jean looked panic-stricken. Damn it. It's really unlucky to meet such a lord following him. He would die at every turn, and he would die at every turn. If you don't give up for a day, you will not be happy, will you? Can you stop being so silly? You keep following me, I'm also very embarrassed, okay. The state of mind or something has long been messed up. If you want to die, go die yourself, I won't stop you. But can you humming stop pulling me away? I'm so innocent. I am really innocent. It's husky time. The confidant Sun Jian has already said what he said, but Ma Yuliang is still relentless, and he takes Sun Jian's words to heart. Even, I feel that Sun Jian is very noisy. Stop talking. It's so noisy. Why so noisy? Go away. Ma Yuliang roared, and then took a few steps forward, so that he was closer to Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Castle. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4155. No matter what, you must have it. This is the major premise. His confidant Sun Jian saw Ma Yuliang's death-like appearance, and his heart trembled inexplicably. At the same time, black lines gathered in his mind. This guy is really brave. Completely interpreted the courage to the extreme. The key is this F***CK, is it really courage? The more I look at it, the more I feel a little sand sculpture. According to this rhythm, he was suppressed every minute. All kinds of coldness consciousness have fully invaded in place. In the end, it completely collapsed. Can't play anymore. I can't laugh anymore. That's it? It's too silly. At the same time, Su Dakai, the lord of Qinghai Castle, had reached the limit of his patience. In this matter, he did have a small mistake. He admits this. But you can't be such a tosser. Confuse me with these? Batuzi is a bastard, his mentality has already collapsed with blood. Spit it out. Hateful everything. Enough. Back off. Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Castle, said with a gloomy face. He has already talked to this point. For a normal person, he should know that he should make a choice. It doesn't need to be said at all. Any gesture is normal. Back off. Why? Why should I back down? Castle Master. You haven't agreed to my conditions yet. You don't know you're wrong by now, do you? Do you know that you are very wrong right now? Are you still stubborn? My lord, I think the best solution is to quickly restore my status as the owner of Fi Longjai, and then tell the world that you'd better give me some more soldiers and let me return to Fi Longjai to put an end to the chaos. My lord, I really don't know what you are waiting for now. I don't understand more and more. It's already this time. Aren't you afraid that the palace master will punish you? Could it be that there is still collusion between the castle master and the rebellious Fangfan Lu Dalong? Hiss. Ma Yuliang's eyes widened, and then he trembled. At that moment, the consciousness of the whole person exploded. That feeling, safe taste, can be called invincible. Distinctive rhythm, let's talk about it. You are courting death. Labor and management tell you to shut up. Snapped. Boom. The mentality of Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, completely collapsed. At this moment, he pursed his lips, and while talking, his whole body was trembling. Damn it. Damn thing. It's all dog stuff. Now, I'm really going to throw up now. It's husky time. Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, slapped Ma Yuliang in the face with a tough big mouth, and then he was out of breath and kicked again. Boom. Ma Yuliang's body spun crazily in the air, and then directly touched the wall, and then fell heavily, falling like a dog and eating shit. That picture is inexplicably funny. Sand sculpture. It's too silly. This wave, I can't laugh at all. Can there be such a wave? The corners of his mouth twitched as he laughed. It's interesting, let's talk to someone. The messy rhythm is inexplicably fascinating. Interesting. Very interesting. The Qinghai Bao practitioners around looked at each other, all holding back their smiles. Some couldn't hold it back, and just laughed out loud. It's so hilarious. There are too many sand sculptures, and there is really no way. At this moment, even Ma Yuliang's confidant Sun Zhan rolled his eyes. He felt that Ma Yuliang simply deserved it. Normal people shouldn't be able to do such a thing. Sand sculpture to the extreme, it almost looks like this ghost. Sand sculpture consciousness, unlimited invasion. It's interesting, but I don't really understand it. Ma Yuliang was slapped and kicked by Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, and felt a headache for no reason at the moment. For a moment, his numb eyes couldn't help but sweep towards the surroundings, and the whole person seemed to be stunned in an instant. Who am I? Where am I? What's wrong with me? Ma Yuliang shook his head, spat out a mouthful of blood, his teeth trembled slightly, and black lines gathered on his forehead. Why? Why? Why do you treat me like this? Why? What did I do wrong? Should I not talk? Can't I talk? My lord. You are unfair. I, Ma Yuliang, just spoke the truth. What? Can't you hear the truth? Or is there something unknown in your heart? Ah. Ah. I don't accept it. I, Ma Yuliang, refuse to accept it. Hesteri's roar followed, and his expression became slightly vicious at this moment. All consciousness is exploding without limit. While speaking, I was trembling with anger. Ma Yuliang felt wronged. What's up with him? What did he do wrong? Why treat him like this? Ma Yuliang stared stubbornly at Su Dakai, the lord of Qinghai Castle, with red eyes. Su Dakai glanced at Ma Yuliang indifferently. How? What do you mean? Do you still want me to apologize to you? Trash snack. How dare you blame the owner of this castle? Snort. An overreaching thing. Seek death. If you hadn't evacuated Phi Longjai ahead of time because of your fear, and handed over Phi Longjai, how could the current incident have happened? If there is a responsibility, all the responsibility rests on you alone. At this time, you still dare to speak nonsense here. If I were you, I'm afraid I would have been killed by a headshot. Dog thing. It's really a dog thing. Go away. Boom. Kick it away and fly out directly. Ma Yuliang rolled aside again. Just as Ma Yuliang was about to say something, Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, had already arrived in front of him, holding a knife in his hand. What does Fort mainly do? Kill yourself? How dare he? Ma Yuliang panicked instantly, black lines gathered on his forehead, and his mentality exploded in an instant. This, completely followed the blood collapse. Do you want to be so exciting? I can't take it, I really can't take it. No, do not want. Hesteri's roar followed, and the sense of despair deep in his heart was gradually gathering. Immediately, gradually numb. Click. Stab it. The sound of flesh and blood breaking open, and the sound of bones being cut, followed immediately. It sounds inexplicably lush at the moment. For a moment, the whole person was completely stunned. Watching everything in front of him silently, he immediately choked speechlessly. How could this be? Now, are you going to go crazy like this now? Can you close it a little bit? It's too exciting, I really can't grasp it. Don't be so passionate. I am dead. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4156. Hesteri's roar followed, and Ma Yuliang roared. The whole person trembled, and he couldn't control himself at all. Too painful. Gradually, I fell into a sense of despair and couldn't extricate myself. That taste, that feeling, makes people feel inexplicably surging. The more I think about it, the more I feel the tingle in my heart. Gradually, the state of mind and so on, I can't hold back anymore. The moment when the consciousness pulls the hips is basically like that. Looking at it now, it is quite pure. Everything that is pure is slowly being created. Now, there are some more novel feelings. The perception is in place, the consciousness is clear. I'm not dead. I'm alive. How am I still alive? Ma Yuliang was limp on the spot, looking at the severed arm that fell to the ground. He instantly understood that he had just had his left arm chopped off by the owner of the castle, Su Dakai. The owner of the castle, Su Dakai, still saved his life. To be alive, so good. At this moment, such thoughts kept echoing in my mind, and my eyes gradually became moist. Too difficult. Although one arm was cut off, what does that matter? It's good to be alive, and naturally don't care about those who have or don't have one. As his eyes flickered, he had more sincere thoughts and thoughts. With trembling lips, all the feelings are gone. So real. I also like this feeling. Wonderful, unparalleled in the world. This time, I just teach you a lesson. If you dare to continue ignoring the rules in the future, you will be killed without mercy. Roll. Su Dakai, the owner of Chengai Fort, glared at Ma Yuliang and scolded. Ma Yuliang's lips trembled. If it was placed before, he would have to argue a few words to vent his dissatisfaction. But now, silently endure. Must endure. Can't bear it, something will happen. If you can't hold back mentally, the rhythm will completely explode. He didn't want to experience that taste, that feeling. The more you experience it, the more desperate you become. Yes, according to the master of the castle. The subordinates will leave now, leave now. Before, the subordinates were ignorant. Please, please Lord Fortress to make amends. The subordinates dare not, and they will not dare in the future. Subordinate, get out. Subordinates, get out immediately. Gudong. Ma Yuliang swallowed a mouthful of saliva, couldn't help shaking his body, and then ran away. Too flustered. At the moment, I dare not say a word of nonsense, and my heart is full of despair. It hurts. Almost lost my mind. Fortunately, it finally stabilized. Ma Yuliang rolled and crawled out of the hall, the clothes on his body were already wet with sweat. He was panting heavily, feeling dizzy for no reason at this moment. It seemed that the picture in front of him was being shattered little by little. Boom! Ma Yuliang collapsed on the ground, his head touched the pillar, and his whole body was shaking. Blood was still flowing crazily from the severed arm. But now he doesn't notice it anymore. After finally surviving, now he just wants to catch his breath. Village master, I will connect the severed limbs for you. Needs to be boned right away. After a long time, you will be imprisoned. His confidant son Jean quickly walked over from the side, and immediately began to set Ma Yuliang's bones. Hearing the sound, Ma Yuliang trembled all over and almost exploded. He was too sensitive. After seeing that it was Sun Jian, he immediately felt relieved. Seeing Sun Jian's flattering smile, Ma Yuliang felt very upset. Why are you still laughing? I've been made into this f***ing way, I was almost killed. Can you still laugh? Grass. You're so humming clear that you don't take labor and capital seriously. You bitch. I humming kill you. Hesteri's roar followed, and his eyes gradually turned blood red. Labor makes you laugh. Makes you laugh. Ah. Ah. Ma Yuliang crazily hit Sun Jian on the head with his casserole-sized right fist. Soon, Sun Jian's head began to bleed. Blood flowed around. Sun Jian was dumbfounded. He didn't understand at the moment. Why hit him? What the hell? Did he do something wrong again? If you make a mistake, can you speak up? Don't be so special, just hit it, okay? I can't stand it. My mind is broken. I'm so upset. Son of a bitch. Damn thing. I threw up. What a mess of rhythm. Don't get stuck on me casually, okay? I'm having a hard time, okay? Now this mentality is really broken. There are too many sand sculptures. Village Master. Sun Jian looked at Ma Yuliang aggrievedly. Following a lunatic village master, that feeling is too uncomfortable. Mental collapse. What's wrong? Are you wronged? What's wrong with you? Where do you feel wronged? What's wrong? The owner of this village has already become such a ghost, and you still dare to laugh. I hit you, what's the problem? Say something. Why don't you talk? Deaf. Can't you tell? Do you feel that you can't say it? I beat you to death. When I was inside just now, why didn't you remind me? I was so excited, can't you drag me? If so, will I still be treated like this by the castle master? It's your fault. It's all your fault. It's you, who almost killed Laozi. Labor and capital have abolished you. Hesteri's roar followed, and the killing intent gathered deep in his eyes. While talking at the moment, the resentment in his eyes was beyond words. The current state seems insane. Sun Jian. Did I really not warn you? I've reminded you several times, okay. But you are a sand sculpture. But you don't listen to me. What can I do? I am also very desperate. This kind of thing, why the hell is it the turn of labor and management? It's husky time. Damn it. The more I think about it now, the more hairy I feel in my heart. At this moment, the eyeballs were raised horizontally, and the feeling of oppression was particularly strong. With an excited heart and trembling hands, only by experiencing it personally can one know the sadness in it. Yes. It was my fault. My lord, I was wrong. Subordinates won't be in the future. Master, please forgive the villain this time. Sun Jian doesn't dare anymore. People have to bow their heads under the eaves. Sun Jian lowered his head. Looking at Ma Yuliang's crazy posture, if he was really stubborn with him, this guy would really beat himself to death. Don't argue with fools. Boring. In the end, it will all become more sandy. It's good to have a number in your heart, and don't care about the rest. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I see you are very brave. How? You still look unconvinced. Are you trying to stare at me? Labor makes you stare at me. Snapped. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4157. There's nothing to argue with a madman. But it's all sand sculptures. Looking at the past, it is completely clear in my heart. At this moment, I felt an inexplicable sense of sadness. Life is impermanent, the large intestine wraps the small intestine. As long as he can't be beaten to death, Sun Jian will not resist. Find an opportunity and leave this lunatic directly. He's worthless. Continuing to lie dormant by his side has no future. It's fine if the position of the village master is gone, now it's all over, even the castle master Su Dakai has been offended. Now toss yourself into a mental illness. He, who else would dare to associate with him after this? After all, it's just a dead end. Let him fight now. But it's also the last time. There will be no more in the future, and this opportunity will not exist in the future. Het. Het. Sun Jian let out a mournful smile, and then put his hands on his head, allowing him to punch and kick without any reaction at all. Totally numb now. Anyway, I can't resist. That's how it is now, it doesn't matter at all. In the main hall of Qinghai Fort at this moment, Su Dakai, the owner of the castle, gradually got into the main topic. According to the intention of the master, the influence of this Fi Long Jai is too bad, affecting the morale of the army, affecting the development and changes of the overall situation. So this time we must kill it. Now there is no reinforcements to send from the palace master, and now we are ordered to kill this Fi Long Jai in Qinghai fortress. This Fi Long village was originally our Qinghai fort's village. Now that something like this has happened, to be honest, we Qinghai Bao really have an inescapable responsibility. Although Ma Yuliang's words just now were a bit harsh, he was right in saying some things. If Fi Long Jai is not eliminated, based on the current level of ambiguity between Fi Long Jai and Snow Eagle Fort, our Qinghai Fort will probably become Snow Eagle Fort's possession in a short time. Actually, this is also the method that Snow Eagle Fort has been using all along. The more it is at this time, the more we must be vigilant against the occurrence of these situations. Do you guys have any good strategies to destroy Fi Long Village? We really don't have the strength to attack Snow Eagle Fort, but it shouldn't be a problem to destroy a Fi Long Village, right? Why are you all dumb? Didn't you all laugh happily when the lord of the castle beat Ma Yuliang just now? What's the matter now, everyone? Why do not you speak? Talk. Say it clearly. The cold voice gradually followed, with a hint of gloom in the words. All kinds of feelings swept in place, and the consciousness exploded to the extreme. For a while, I felt trembling all over my body. That feeling, that taste, is especially heartbreaking. My thoughts and so on are completely messed up. The rhythm is also completely numb. But no matter what Su Dakai, the lord of Qinghai Fortress, said, everyone would not speak out against the enemy. It seems like we discussed it together before. Everyone is not stupid, everyone can tell that Su Dakai, the lord of Qinghai Fortress, is actually on the point. If anyone speaks, he may be picked up by Suda, the lord of Qinghai Fort, and he will lead troops to attack Fi Long Jai afterward. A mere Fi Long village is nothing, but standing behind Fi Long village is Snow Eagle Fort. Didn't you see the information? What the hell, Fang Fan, the deputy head of Fi Long Jai, and Lei Hai, the head of Snow Eagle Fort, are sworn brothers. Lei Hai, the master of Snow Eagle Castle, is a strong man in the 7-star pseudo-god realm, and the second expert in the entire Changling Mansion. That is to say, Lu Hong, the head of the Changling Mansion, has a higher level of cultivation than him. But what about higher? Lu Hong, the head of the Changling Mansion, did not dare to confront him at all. Isn't what this means already obvious? This shows that Lei Hai, the master of Snow Eagle Fort, is not only high level, but also has explosive combat power. If it weren't for this, Lu Hong, the head of the Changling Mansion in the 8-star pseudo-god realm, wouldn't have been afraid of this Thunder Sea all the time. Even in the end, Lei Hai was directly forced back. After forcing Lei Hai back, Lu Hong, the head of the Changling Mansion, was still cowardly. He didn't dare to destroy Snow Eagle Fort in the first place, and only felt that Go would give orders from behind. The current situation is that Snow Eagle Fort has destroyed 2 forts in Changling Mansion, and then formed an alliance with the 2 forts. There are only 10 castles in the entire Changling Mansion, and now 5 castles are cold. Half of the forces have stretched their hips. In this case, a lot of things are already obvious, and if you don't make it clear, it will not work. The rhythm here is oppressing without limit. It feels sharp and urgent. What should come will always follow. I know what's going on in your hearts. Fear. Isn't it just fear and anxiety? One by one, they all become soft-legged shrimps, right? Why was it so surging before? Are you so cowardly now? Trash. A bunch of trash. You are not as good as Ma Yuliang. At least Ma Yuliang has challenged the owner of this castle. The cold snort swept across, and the brilliance in the eyes was exploding without limit at this moment. Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, had a gloomy face, feeling extremely unhappy in his heart at the moment. I can't stand up anymore. Don't give him any face. Lord, since Ma Yuliang is willing to lead troops to the expedition, in fact, maybe you can't give him a chance. Cough. My lord, or let Ma Yuliang lead the troops to attack Phi Longjai. He was the owner of Phi Longjai before, so he must be more familiar with Phi Longjai than we are. Perhaps the cultivators in Phi Long village will surrender as soon as he, the old village master, returns. Yes, Lord Castle Master, I think what Master Zhao Yi said is very reasonable, otherwise let's do it this way. My lord, I also think Ma Yuliang is a good candidate. My lord, I second my proposal. Things seemed to go smoothly for a while. There was unprecedented unanimity of opinion. A dead fellow Taoist will never die a poor Taoist. Let Ma Yuliang die. Let him lead the team. Let him offend Snow Eagle Fort. In this way, wouldn't they be safe? Thinking of this, everyone immediately felt refreshed. All kinds of rhythms and so on, gathered in an all-round way. Happy. The touch, is perfect. This time, the awareness was right in place. Thoughts wandering, smiling as usual. In terms of feeling, it is very pure. Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, froze and looked unhappy. Oh shit. After going back and forth, why did you go back again? I just expelled that idiot Ma Yuliang, now you all recommend him? What do you mean? Are you against me on purpose? Hateful. Hateful. Damn stuff. Now is it necessary for the owner of this castle to pull a face and invite him? Is the owner of this castle shameless? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4158. Is there really no one who can fight? Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Castle, took a deep breath, and then scanned the surrounding roads. His implication is already very strong, I just hope everyone can stand up enthusiastically. What the hell, all of them are shrinking their heads, what's going on? One by one, inexplicably like sand sculptures, you know? Can't you be a little more comfortable? Do you pull your hips so much? It's really disgusting to the extreme. On weekdays, she pretends to be cocky, what's wrong? Now as soon as something serious happens, you start to run away in a hurry? Damn stuff. What's the use of raising these bastards? I only know how to piss people off. The more I think about it, the more restless I feel in my heart. While thinking in a mess, the whole person gradually followed Mazwa. A wave of bells and whistles. Rhythm, pull the hips to the extreme. Nothing. My lord, you are wise and mighty, or you will personally conquer. At this time, a cultivator from Qinghai Bao snorted, with a flattering attitude on his face. Su Dakai. Play. Oh shit. Can it work? If you can't get along, just say it frankly. Don't fool around here. Shaking all over with anger. If you don't go, let the master of this castle go. If you are afraid of danger when you go inside, the owner of this castle is not afraid of danger? Is this kind of thought hidden in everyone's heart? One by one, why not go to heaven? Why not go shoulder to shoulder with the sun? Call. Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, let out a mouthful of turbid air viciously, black lines were densely covered on his forehead. These bastards, one counts as one, and none of them is good. Damn stuff. I almost pissed myself off. Damn thing. Do you all want to die? Just say it if you want to die. Don't be so special here, it means a hammer. Sudakai, the master of Chingai Fort, was walking back and forth, his brows were furrowed, his thoughts were wandering, and his expression became very solemn little by little. It seems that no one really wants to go. Could it be possible that Ma Yuliang really wants to lead troops to take back Filangjai? It's just that I just taught this guy a lesson and told him to get out of the hall. Now, do I want to lick my face and let him come back? I really can't do it. At least, I really can't be so shameless. Where is the face of the lord of this castle? No, this won't work. It makes the owner of this castle look like a piece of rubbish. Sudakai, the owner of Chingai Fort, was walking back and forth, he still cared a lot about face. It's just that someone actually directly curbs it now. How can this work? Isn't this slapping him in the face? My lord, the village master Ma Yuliang seems to know that he is wrong. It's crying outside right now. My lord, you have a lot, why don't you give him another chance? At this time, a pseudo-god cultivator from Chingai Fort secretly delivered a sentence. In this way, Suda, the lord of Chingai Fort, will be opened a step down. At least in this way, he can develop smoothly, instead of gnashing his teeth all the time. Is it? He really knew he was wrong. Did you not deceive the lord of this castle? Sudakai, the master of Chingai Fort, deliberately raised his voice. Yes, Lord Castle Master, the subordinates can vouch for him. That's right, Lord Fortress, let's give village Lord Ma Yuliang a chance. My lord, Ma Yuliang's willingness to reimburse you is really rare. My lord, look at Ma Yuliang, if you don't forgive him, he may kneel down there forever. My lord. There were bursts of shouts from around. All of a sudden, it gathered together. Rhythm consciousness and so on are completely torn apart. The more thoughts, the more feelings. So many people are opening the steps for Suda, the owner of Chingai Fortress. If Sudakai didn't come down at this time, he would be really stupid. Let him in. Sudakai, the master of Chingai Fort, waved his hand. This arrangement is suitable. Outside the main hall, Ma Yuliang was still beating up his crony Sun Zhan crazily. You are a broom star. Ah! If you hadn't advised the owner of the village to leave Filangjai and flee to Chingai Fort, how could the owner of the village have fallen to this point? It's all you. It's all you. Since the owner of this village has followed you, nothing good will happen to him. Damn it! The aura is the owner of the village. Why don't you die? Ah! What face do you have to continue living? Lick your face, who the hell are you showing it to? How about yourself, don't you have any points in your heart? Oh shit. When I see you like this, I feel angry inside. I'm furious. Fight. Keep fighting. Thump you to death. Hesteri's roar followed, and the sandbag-sized fist fell crazily. This is really punching into the flesh. At this moment, Ma Yuliang really beat Sun Zhan like a sandbag. All the anger and resentment are vented in this way little by little. At this moment, his complexion is sinister, his consciousness bursts, his eyes are blood red, and his consciousness is rioting. It's all damn it! Damn it all! Damn it all! Let you be arrogant. Let you swell. Ah! Ah! Hestia's roar is so sincere. Those who should come will always follow, just like this, crazy squeeze. That sense of madness is very real. Ma Zezhu, don't fight. Stop. If you hit again, you will really kill someone. Hurry up and stop. At this time, a practitioner from Chingaibeo came over to fight. Leave me alone. Oh shit. Why didn't you pull me when labor and capital were beaten up by the castle owner? Lao Zi beat his own dog, what's bothering you? Grass. It's driving labor and management crazy, labor and management will fight with you. Turtle stuff. It's not a good thing at all. Hee hee. While talking, Ma Yuliang continued to hit Sun Jian's face with his fist, directly knocking out the last back molar of Sun Jian. At this moment, Sun Jian could only curl up his body and protect his head as much as possible. Being alive now shows that his physique is really good. If the physique was poor, he would have been hammered to death long ago. Impermanence of life. I have to live. I want to live. There is hope in life. It's okay to be beaten into a cripple, beaten to look bad. Just live. Sun Jian muttered to himself, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help twitching. All consciousness is completely numb at the moment. Only the living consciousness seems so stubborn. Excited heart, trembling hands, almost like this. It's nothing, just a few fools. Master of the horse village, the master of the castle let you in. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4159. Ah. What do you mean? My lord, looking for me. Gudong. Ma Yuliang shook his sandbag-sized fist and froze in place for a while. At this moment, his eyes were slightly red, and the corners of his mouth gradually twitched. For a while, I was completely excited with excitement. And this good thing. The meaning of life is completely swept into place. What a surprise. Wrong. What is the castle master asking me to do now? Call. No. You don't want to kill me, do you? Isn't it enough for the castle master to cut off one of my arms? You still want to kill me? I am absolutely loyal to the castle master. Ma Yuliang was shocked instantly. How could you do this to him? Want to kill him at every turn? How the hell can this work? I didn't do anything either. Ma Yuliang stopped beating people at the moment, and felt panic and excitement inexplicably in his heart. At this moment, his legs and feet couldn't help trembling crazily, and his thoughts exploded in his mind instantly. Ma Zezhu, why are you in a hurry? My lord wants to use you. My lord thinks you are brave and fearless. I have decided to let you lead troops to recover Filong village. Master Ma, this time, don't let down the good intentions of Lord Fortress. The Chengaibeo cultivator on the side said with a smile on his face. On the surface, it seems to be extremely respected. As for what they think behind the scenes, in essence, only they themselves know. Every bad old man is very bad. To be clear, I just want Ma Yuliang to be a dead ghost. But Ma Yuliang, who suddenly looked back on the road of despair, couldn't think about this. In just a moment, he became excited, the corners of his mouth trembled, and his face turned red. My lord wants to use me. My lord wants to use me. Ha 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 ha. I know. I just know. It's impossible for the castle master to just abandon me like this. I, Ma Yuliang, am loyal to Lord Castle Master. The masters of these castles are all clear in their hearts. I, Ma Yuliang, can splash blood on the battlefield for the castle master. Even if Lord Master beat me and scolded me, even cut off my Ma Yuliang's arm. My Ma Yuliang's heart has never changed. I, Ma Yuliang. I must follow Lord Castle Master to the end. Long live the Castle Master. My lord. After all, you have clearly identified the traitor. My lord. Hesteri's roar followed, and Ma Yuliang's eyes instantly became moist. While speaking, all consciousness is in the infinite end. At the moment, I feel inexplicably sad about this. At this moment, there may be some truth in Ma Yuliang's tears. Cough, cough, cough. A cough followed. Sun Jian curled up beside him, trembling all over. I had been passively beaten all the time, and the beating became numb, so my body didn't feel much. Suddenly Ma Yuliang stopped beating him, which made him feel a little uncomfortable for a while. He blinked at this moment, with a puzzled look on his face. While the expression is solemn, the thoughts are really in an unrestricted disorder, and the expression is extremely complicated. The eyes are extremely distracted. When he coughed, he spat out blood foam mixed with internal organs, which looked quite scary. Sun Jian. My buddy. Come. Fight on the battlefield with me. My lord has trusted me again. Ha ha ha. Sun Jian. You are really my good brother. When the village master was at a loss, you were the only one who followed me. Sun Jian, the village master knows your love. There are a lot of things between you and me, so I don't need to say more, I understand everything. From now on, you and I will help each other. Blessings share hardships. Your son Jian is my Ma Yuliang's brother. I, Ma Yuliang, are the head of the village, and you, Sun Jian, are the deputy head of the village. If I, Ma Yuliang, have the opportunity to be the castle master, you will be the deputy castle master. Ma Yuliang couldn't help roaring excitedly at this moment. When he spoke, the veins on his forehead popped like crazy. All thoughts exploded at this moment. The excited heart and trembling hands can only understand the excitement at the moment if you have experienced it personally. Ma Yuliang was very excited. But at the moment, Sun Jian seemed very numb. After being beaten until now, to be honest, he is really a little numb. My whole body hurts everywhere. The brain would crack open from time to time, who could resist it? In Sun Jian's eyes, this Ma Yuliang has the face of a dog. This guy is essentially a dog. Vomited. I really vomited. How could this kind of sand sculpture have the nerve to say such nonsense? What did he do just now? Is there really no point in his heart? Why are you still so proud now? Oh shit. This kind of bastard, I really want to smash him to death with one fist. Dog. This is the dog. If it weren't for being unable to beat this thing, Sun Jian would have spit blood on Ma Yuliang's face. When you hit me just now, you didn't hold back at all. Almost, just that little bit, and beat me to death. That feeling, that taste, is called a sour feeling. Thinking about it now, the black lines flickering wildly on his forehead. No point, really no point. Sun Jian, I'll go in first. You wait here for me. Ma Yuliang turned around and returned to the hall. Immediately, he rushed to Su Dakai, the master of Qinghai Fort, eagerly. Castle master. Huh. My lord. You are willing to accept me. My lord. Do you know how sad your subordinates were just now? Subordinate, this subordinate thought you didn't want me anymore. Ma Yuliang had a runny nose and tears, and when he spoke, he immediately followed the old tears. The words were in place, and the whole person fell into waves of tremors. When the mentality explodes, let me talk to someone. The more I think about it now, the more my heart diverges. Rhythm or something, has already followed the overall collapse. Look, it's quite provocative. Seeing Ma Yuliang's snot and tears rolling down his trouser legs, Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Castle, almost spit it out without disgust. At this moment, the corners of his mouth twitched, his complexion turned black into the bottom of the pot, and his whole brain was already cracked. Damn it, can you please calm down a little bit? This. A wave of bells and whistles. If he didn't want to use this dog later, Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fort, really wanted to kick this ball away. It's so frightening. Damn thing. It's clearly a dog thing. During the suppression of thoughts, other words need not be said at all, they are completely numb. It's nothing, just a few fools. Cough. Ma Zezou, please get up. Don't be so excited. We still have something to talk about. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 4160. Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, forced a smile, then lowered his head and said obsequiously. Yes, good castle master. Just tell me what you want your subordinates to do. It is a great honor for my subordinates to be able to serve the Lord Castle Master. I just hope that Lord Castle Master won't abandon me again in the future. Woo 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 woo. My lord, you can cut off the limbs of your subordinates, and your subordinates will feel a little pain, and it will pass in a while. But you don't want your subordinates. Saying such vicious words to your subordinates and expelling your subordinates from the hall will hurt your subordinates' hearts. At that time, my subordinates felt that their hearts were cool. At that time, I couldn't even say a word. Keep your lord. As Ma Yuliang spoke, his whole body trembled. At this moment, 2 lines of hot tears were shed, and he couldn't help but started to cry while hugging the leg of the owner of Qinghai Castle, Su Dakai. Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fort, is really about to blow up right now. Oh shit. What the hell is this? Can you be a little more disgusting? Ah. What a bastard. What to say and do, can't the rhythm be a little more stable? Ah. Is it always like this? My brain, really hurts. It split right away, speechless, and even an urge to vomit. The more I think about it now, the more appropriate it becomes. The lord of this castle has decided to send 500 troops to attack Filong village. You come to be the commander-in-chief. When Filong village is settled, you will stay in Filong village and continue to be the owner of the village. Master Mazai, don't let the owner of this castle down. The owner of this castle is waiting for news of your victory at Qinghai Castle. Go. Hurry up and go. Don't waste your time here. Soldiers are expensive and fast. 500 troops are considered to be half of the troops in Qinghai Bao. Master Mazai, you must not ruin my army. What to do, you should be very clear in your heart, right? Go go. Whispering sounds followed, and the brilliance in the eyes flickered without limit. While thoughts are flying, such a rhythm is being contained bit by bit. In terms of feeling, it is extremely vivid. So conscious, comprehensive suppression. After Su Dakai, the owner of Qinghai Fortress, finished speaking, he quickly stepped back a few words. At this time, he didn't want to talk about it anymore. That's it, it's pretty good. 500 troops. I will lead. Yes. Thank you, Lord Fortress, for your trust. Your Majesty, don't worry, I'm sure, I won't let you down. Flying Dragon Village. My Pegasus can directly pacify it. Ma Yuliang held his head high, and then swept around the hall, looking at the Qinghai Fort practitioners around him. He had an inexplicable sense of superiority. He felt that the castle master only trusted him, so he gave him the lead of the 500 troops. As for the surrounding Zhejiang people, to put it bluntly, they are no longer comparable to themselves. At least in the eyes of the castle master, he, Ma Yuliang, is the number one. Sometimes people are a little silly, but it's not bad. At least I can really be happy in this silly atmosphere. Immediately, inexplicably, I felt that the consciousness of the sand sculpture was fully gathered, and the more I looked at it, the cuter it was, and the more I looked at it, the more I wanted to laugh. This is the real sand sculpture. Little did they know that those people around were talking about Ma Yuliang's life and death. Going to attack Filong village this time will definitely provoke Snow Eagle Fort. Once you provoke Snow Eagle for it, isn't it a dead end? Everyone is unwilling to go to this dead end, and only some sand sculptures regard this thing as an opportunity. Millennium Village. At this moment, Fang Fan and the others have not left Qingzi Village. The celebration banquet was just held last night. Everyone drank a lot, so they decided to rest and recuperate here. Fang Fan glanced at his female companion, Yang Ling and his eyes shifted slightly. Last night the small building was windy again. It feels okay. Oh. Yang Ling's delicate body trembled slightly, and then she struggled to open her hazy eyes, and what she saw was Fang Fan. At this moment, those big watery eyes were full of panic. Thinking of the storm last night, Yang Ling was completely numb for a while. She no longer wanted to recall the pain she felt at that time. How? Does it still hurt? Are there any other discomforts? Fang Fan acted like a gentleman, and then whispered to the side. Yang Ling shrank her neck, her fear never disappeared. My father will come to save me. He won't let you go. You took away my most precious thing. You bastard! Yang Ling shouted. Fang Fan touched the wing of his nose, his face was indifferent. Last night, it seems that you took the initiative. It's you who have been drinking. After getting drunk, you always want to get into my arms. And then you frantically took off your clothes. In this case, what can I do? Can you tell me? I can't do nothing. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth raised slightly, and a sharp light flickered in his eyes as he spoke. I do not care. Anyway, my father will definitely avenge me. Yang Ling spoke forcefully. This silly woman. You are not Yang Da's biological daughter. If you were his own daughter, how could Yang Da dedicate you to me? In that situation, Yang Da should also be very anxious, right? His wife greened him, and then gave birth to a daughter who belonged to Jia Hao, the former owner of the Millennium Debt. With mixed feelings, he really didn't know what to do with his daughter who had been like this for so many years. Killed this evil person directly? But after all, after being a biological daughter for so many years, it is really difficult to start. Just let it go. For Yang Da, he felt unwilling again in his heart. That mixed feeling was too strong. For a while, the mentality completely collapsed. Everything, cool on the spot. The more I think about it, the colder I feel in my heart. It's numb, it's completely numb. That's all. Are you going to keep doing this? Fang Fan glanced at Yang Ling's hostile look, and said indifferently. He doesn't have so much time to entangle with this woman. Yang Ling didn't speak, just stared at Fang Fan. Then I'll send you back. Let your father deal with you. Fang Fan shrugged, then walked out the door and brought Yang Ling to Yang Da's residence. Father. Mother. After Yang Ling saw Yang Da and his wife, she couldn't help but shed tears immediately, her eyes were filled with desolation. Immediately rushed over. Master, this. Yang Da was a little confused, not knowing what was going on. She didn't want to stay with me, she was clamoring to come back. Also ready to let you avenge her. Fang Fan shrugged and said sincerely. Yang Da was stunned, and the corner of his mouth twitched immediately. This bitch.